Hello everyone, in this video I will be making a calculated question in Moodle using predefined wildcards. First of all, we're going to create a new question and I'm going to choose calculated multi-choice, but you can also use calculated. So I will click add. Moving on, now I'm going to label the question, or giving the question name trial on incremental wildcard number. Okay, so the question here, it is just a simple question: calculate this wildcard A. So calculate A multiply with this wildcard B. Alright, so this is for trial purpose. Calculate A multiply with B. Moving on, for the wildcard, we have to put in open curly bracket the unknowns A here, and then close curly bracket for both A and B. So these are what we call as the unknowns or wildcards, predefined random values. Moving on, we can choose the default mark, more than one. For example, let's put it as 2 marks, and then you can also shuffle the choices or the answers. So the first one, I'm going to put it 100, but remember it is going to be shuffled when it is displayed to the student. So for the first one, I'm going to write down the answer. The display should start with open curly bracket equal sign, and then now we're going to put in the wildcard A multiply with, in this case I use asterisk sign, multiply with wildcard B, and then I close the curly bracket. So this is going to be the first choice, the correct choice with 100% marks, meaning that when the student answer this, the student will obtain 2 marks. Moving on to the second choice, this can be the incorrect one, so I'm just going to modify from the previous formula. Let's say this one is addition of A and B, so if the student chooses this second choice, the grade is going to be equal to 0. So moving on, let's say this one is going to be now subtraction, and then last but not least, it is going to be, let's say, division. So moving on, I normally put multiple tries as 0, so there will be no penalty to the student. Click save changes, and then now we arrive to the second setup page where we actually predefine our wildcard. So for the first one, it is going to be a new shared data set because I have never created wildcards on A and B. And then you can also choose whether to have this wildcard being used in other question, which is for the second option, synchronizing the wildcards for all of the question that shares the same wildcard A and B, so they will have the same number. So moving on, because this is just a standalone question, I'm just going to put it as it is, do not synchronize, and click next page. And then now I'm going to define the numbers. So question here for wildcard A, it is going to be, let's say, from 2 until 12. So it is going to be an incremental of 2, and then I'm going to put decimal place as 0, meaning that my number here should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Okay, so this is going to be for the first one. Okay, so again, this is going to be incremental of 2. Okay, so moving on, we're going to have for the second one, which is going to be this wildcard B. So for the wildcard B, it is going to be from 95, and then we're going to increase with the numbers of 5, incremental of 5. So it will start with 95, and then no decimal places. So it will be 95, 100, 105, 110, and then 115, and so on. So here it is going to end until 120, and then I'm going to update the dataset parameters. So moving on, afterward, we can take a look at the example produced, and then don't worry about that. Again, we are going to make it incremental. So I'm going to add, here I'm just going to add 10 numbers or 10 wildcard values, and then you're going to be seeing set 10, and then the shared wildcard is shown here. So because we have 10, so I'm going to display all of the 10 wildcards, and then we're going to be seeing those selected number. So as you can see here, we have set 10 until set 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to firstly choose set A, and then we're going to change it as incremental. So let's say this one is going to be 2, and then for set 9 is going to be 4. I'm just changing for A first, and then set 8 is going to be 6, and then set 7 will be 8, set 6 is going to be 10, and then set 5 is going to be 12. And then remember, the maximum number here is actually going to be 12 for set A. So I can now, instead of increasing with addition of 2, so now it is going to be decreasing with deduction of 2. So let's say from 12, so it is now going to be 10, and then 8, 6, and then we have number 4. Or you can just use the numbers that you want according to its increment. Moving on, now we're going to change for wildcard B, and then remember, for wildcard B it is only going to be from 95 until 120. So the generated numbers, as you can see, is going to be uniform distribution, but however, because we want it to be in incremental of 2 and incremental of 5, so we are changing the numbers. Okay, so this one will be, let's say, 120, and then I'm going to minus with 5. This one is 115. We're going to have here, it's going to be 110, or any value that you want. It doesn't have to be a straight linear incremental. Alright, so maybe we can jump. This one is going to be 95. So we have 105 in between that, as well as 100. And then set 4 is going to be moving on again. It should be 95, and then let's say we're going to move up. 115 sounds okay, and then we have 100, and then 110. So everything looks okay here, so we're going to click save changes. So we can take a look of this question, having a preview. Okay, so as you can see, this one is going to be showing 8 and 115. We can also create another preview. Okay, let's say we create another preview again. So this is going to be 6 and 100. So 6 multiplied by 100 should be 600. Check, and then definitely this one is correct. That is how you create question in Moodle with wildcards that have incremental values. Alright, thank you.